Okay. So last weekend, Friday and Saturday, we had a on stage at home. And it was a virtual on stage. Was a lot of fun. Got to learn a lot of things about the business and some new ideas. Got to see some of the new product being demonstrated with some very awesome demonstrations, samples. One of the demonstrations that we watched, they actually gave us a chance to vote on whether we wanted this color of cardstock for the base or this color. Then we got to choose whether the image would be colored in with 2 shades of peach color or 2 shades of yellow, or red rather. We got to add our choice of accessory trim. And it was really great fun because we voted. Then after the presentation was over, she shared cards made with the other options. So it was a lot of fun. We also did some stamping. You could purchase beforehand. You could purchase a kit that's going to be, or a stamp set that's going to be in the January to June mini catalog. So you could buy that in advance to use, or you could just gather up supplies that you had there at home. And then we stamped together. It was really fun. About 10,000 people all over the world were stamping together at that particular time. The stamps, these are the cards that we made. There was this one. And then we made this one. And this one in particular, I'm going to make in several different, but the basic design. There is 3 2-inch squares, and then a stamp and a greeting, and then these little butterflies are from a punch. And I'm going to do this again using other designer series paper and other stamp sets because I really like the composition of this card. And then we made this one. And these are little ladybugs. They come, let me see if I can reach one. They're kind of bronze and a little bit hollow on the underside, but you can use a glue dot to fasten them onto your cardstock. And what I had seen one demonstrator do, nice package of them, one demonstrator suggested was to color them with the stamping blend so that they would look more red. So I'll add a little more color to this. And you could get more and more color on there by just allowing that to dry and then adding another layer. The stamp set that we used is this Dragonfly Garden and a coordinating paper. It's 6 by 6, has dandelions in it, has bees all over it. The reverse sides are just patterns. This is one side, and the reverse side of this is stripes. The reverse side of this one are some blue dandelions. There's this one, but that's the reverse side. And you get quite a few. There's some dandelions on yellow, on bumblebee. You get quite a few pieces of paper out of this. And one of the designs are dragonflies, like this. And what's really cool is that the punch that comes, this and a dragonfly punch come together as a bundle. And the punch matches the size of the dragonfly so that you can slip it in. Let me smooth that edge out a little bit. You can slip it in and it just punches out perfectly. Then I also discovered the little punch, little dragonfly, can be lined up. Okay, where do you go? Huh, I had one out here. Well, I'll show you again. You can line him up and he almost, I didn't get lined up very well, but it almost works on the smaller dragonfly too. I have another one. Like I say, there was another one laying around here until I picked things up. That matched it much better. Anyway, that's a cool thing about the designer series paper. And that is where this yellow dragonfly came from. This one here. So that was over the weekend. Another thing that I learned that was demonstrated by one of the demonstrators was a technique, a easy technique for making a shaker card. And that's what we're going to do today. This one I made using, seems like Frost Designer Series paper, snowflake sequins, and beautiful bows die set. I used some Wink of Stella on it so you maybe can see the shimmer to it. And this is from the Peaceful Boughs stamp set. The greeting is. The die is part of the Peaceful Boughs die set. So that was one of them. And some snowflake or crystal, something like that, ribbon that's kind of shimmery and iridescent. So that's the one I made first. Then I decided, okay, this is with the Poinsettia Designer Series paper, and I chose the holly one for that. And this is the card we're going to make today. You can see the shimmer from the Wink of Stella on there and the sequins. So we're going to make that today. I'm going to use the bow from this stamp set, gift wrapped, which goes with a coordinated punch. Comes as a bundle. Very cute. Does not have a punch for this, just the bow. And then this has a little tag, and it has a wrap that can go in the center of your bow. A cute little tag that I was going to say to and from, but just these little things would fit from the thing in there. So that's the bow from there. I used the greeting from the Season's Greeting from the Peaceful Boughs, and that die that I used on the other one, this die, for the tag. And then I used from Christmas Gleaming this holly, this little bunch of holly. This does not have a die, so you have to fussy cut it. But it's not too hard to do. So that's this part here. So let's start. We have card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I folded it in half. We have, okay, we have? Oh, here. You need a piece of designer series paper, 4 by 5 1/4. You need a medium clear envelope. And then you need scraps of paper to stamp the holly and the bow. The holly is on Whisper White. The bow I stamped on real red with using cherry cobbler ink on it. And I went ahead and stamped those and then punched it out, and I have put Wink of Stella on it already. I colored this with the dark Old Olive and the light Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blend, and the dark red, Real Red, and the light Cherry Cobbler for the berries. So let's make the shaker part of it. You put your designer series paper into the envelope and make it so it's lined up tightly against one edge in one corner. So it's right down in the corner there, like that. Then, these are the holiday sequins, and I'm going to add some red, a couple pinches of red. And I'm going to put some silver in, and some of the gold. The green color doesn't go with the green of the holly leaves in this DSP, so I'm not going to put any of that in. And these things, static electricity makes them stick to everywhere. Anyway, so you put those in and still make sure that everything's down tight. Turn your envelope over and fold this down till it is right against your designer series paper. Crease it with your finger, and then seal it. Next thing is to fold, so you've got the edge here. You fold this down and crease that. And you could use tear and tape underneath it to hold it together, but you do want to have this top layer also glued down. Tear and tape would just do the 2 layers in between, and you could get sequins shaking all over the place. So use some Scotch tape. This won't show. Maybe I'll get down there. So tape it down with Scotch tape. Like that. Now you could adhere it to the card front, probably with multi-purpose liquid glue, but with all the shaking that your recipient's going to probably do, you're going to want a little firmer sticking. So use tear and tape along the edges. Like that. And then take a pick after you've burnished those well. You take take a pick, just kind of work it under, and it will lift the paper liner for you. Saves a lot of time trying to get the corners picked up, because I find when I'm picking up the corners that I also pick up the adhesive. So you just take your pick under there, like that. Oops, that time it took the adhesive up too. There. And you stick it down to your card front. And there's your shaker card, your shaker part of it. It doesn't shake quite as much as it would if you were to use foam adhesive strips and actually raise a window sheet up so that there's more space. But it does its job the way it is. Okay, so all we have left to do now is decorate the front and pick up all those sequins. I'm going to use Stampin' Seal for the front here. I generally have to advance the tape a little bit to get it sticky on it. Like that. And use Stampin' Dimensionals to put the bow on. I played around with putting the holly down here and then putting the bow up here. And yes, you could do that and it would show the cute, nice design on the sides of the die. I decided I'm just going to put them all together in the center. So believe it or not, here it is November and we already are looking towards the new year. And I will have early next month, I will have new catalogs for the January through June mini catalog and celebration. Next year we're going to have celebration twice. We're going to have it in January and February, and then we're going to have it again in, I think, June and July. Kind of a kickoff for the new catalogs. So, at any rate, if you don't have a current demonstrator and would love to have a catalog, because who doesn't want to be able to flip through the beautiful catalog and see all the things and pore over it and decide again and again and again. This is what the front of the catalog is like. I can't show you the rest of it. A little hint here. There's some really beautiful foiling stuff, and this is a beautiful designer series paper. So anyway, new catalogs coming out. Contact me if you would like to have one. Celebration, remember, you with every $50 worth of order, you get to choose a stamp set or a piece or paper from the Celebration catalog. So be sure to contact me for your catalogs. I'll be happy to mail you one. And here's our shaker card, all done. If you need any of the products I used for it, you can order it from my online store, Creations by Sue, Stampin'Up.net. I'm going to have the dimensions and the directions on my blog probably Monday. And so check them out there at soggystamper.com. If you have any questions, email me or give me a call. My email address is sue@soggystamper.com. And I thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's helpful for you. If you do make a shaker card like this, I would love to see what you create. So send me, text me or email me a picture of it. I'd be happy to share it with people on my blog. So have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and Sunday, and we'll see you again next week on Friday afternoon. Bye-bye.